Now the recording has started. Could you restate that second one?
Your what? Mine. Oh, mine. It said mine.
What?
Mine.
All right. So let's go ahead and give this dude a name. We'll make it public static void frappe
Excellent.
string blah.
Are you not going to read ours?
Huh?
You're not going to read ours?
Oh.
Be scarred by how horrible
He's
that is.
preloading the incompetence.
Yeah. Here. Well, let me show me. Let me do this
We have
first.
to know what was right before you can tell us you're wrong.
All right. So that gets you the pieces, right? All right. Then, well, actually, I'm gonna work just so I don't have to use Joey's etc. Well, first of all, I'll do this.
An array of the months. Yeah.
So, why do you use the in front of your variable?
I just like those.
Okay.
That's kind of just a, you know, these are the parts, these are the months. So I don't know, decent naming.
Makes sense.
Stupid. I was thinking they spelled February.
Hell, Joey doesn't.
Huh?
Well, I think I may have. No, yeah. I bet. Remember how these months got named? By the whitest crazy.
It's so funny.
It was it January? Yeah.
Did I get them all?
Who cares?
Looks good to me.
All right, so there's all the months. Now, I need to quickly do something here.
Counts as a line.
Huh?
It counts as a line.
I'm going to remove it as soon as I'm done running this program.
Okay.
It's going to keep me from having to type so much.
Print out dates.
And actually, what I'm about to show you here is a tool you might use when you're writing some of your own software. Sometimes it would be easier to display a bunch of stuff so you can copy and paste it and then make any modifications you need to make. So I'm going to do system.out.print. So I displayed all the things, because most of them are going to be THs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go in and change the couple that aren't.
Gotcha.
Oh, hold on. I need to...
So the other quote. You don't want to.
Also, isn't the other slash?
No, because I want this to count as the...
Forward slash?
No. No, this is the escape character.
Yeah.
I want this to be TH. Oh, hold on.
Maybe it's the other slash.
That's right, but it. No, wait. You need another quotation mark after the first.
Yeah, first one. You're not closing
Whatever.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay. Alright, it's cool now.
Oh, it's upset down there.
Come on.
There we go.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I don't have my comma in there. Now we have the comma in there. There we go.
What's up?
Why are you doing?
Okay, then I'm just going to. This is an ST. This is an ND. This is an RD. This is an ST. This is an ND. This is an RD. This is an ST. All right. And finally, system.out.println. We get the parts at bucket 0. This is going to be the string version of the number that is our month. So if that was a 1, that'll be, we have to subtract 1 from it to get us our 0 bucket that's January. So I need this guy. I need the number version of that guy. So that is integer.parseInt of this guy. That is a number. -1. That is the adjusted number. What do I want to do with that number? I want to get the months at that bucket. Okay, so that'll be like January or February or March. Concatenate that with a space. I'm going to steal this exact same integer.parseInt code. Actually, I'm going to steal all of this code and paste it, but instead of the months, this is the days. I assume that's what I called it, right? What's up?
Should be looking at bucket 1 instead of 0 in the second.
Oh, for the parts, yeah. And then finally, concatenate that with where did I put my space? Comma followed by a space, comma, space, concatenate with the parts at bucket 2. So to call this, I'd say driver.frappe 127 1978. Run that January 27th, 1978.
How did you do it? We just showed you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Way less efficient than live.
Yeah, seriously. If you knew right every
An
time.
external hard drive to store it. The text and code.
So that might have been a nice short way of doing it. How else could we have done it?
Run through every.
Go ahead.
I was going to do it very similar to that at actually finish mine, but instead I was going to use, instead of defining the string array for the days, I was going to do a switch statement. The switch is basically define a case for 1, 2, and 3, and then like 21st, 22nd, 21, 22, 23, and then 31. You have the default be, then they have the default, but then basically if it's a 1, you add ST. If it's likewise 21, first, 31st,
But with our special cases?
and then have the default be the TH, and we can build that into a build that then basically it'll be the same thing.
Well, if you're gonna have a switch statement, it would have a ton of lines, right?
Yeah.
Basically, what I did was I started off with the same thing, splitting it, having the months, but then I just printed off the month right away, as well as the day, and then to check what the ending of the day should be, I just did an if statement. If it is 1 or 21, then end it with ST and then the year. If it's 2 or the 22nd, yeah, or the 31st, sorry. If it's 2 or the 20 or 22, then end it with ND. If it's 3 or 23, end it with RD. Otherwise, do the TH ending. It's just a couple if statements.
Okay. So kind of a straightforward way of doing this may have been to write some helper methods, right? So you could have written a public static string month to string. And this guy would take, well, it's going to take in a string because that's how we have it stored. So this would take in a string month. And if month was 1, it returned January. If month was 2, it returned February, so on and so forth. So for that, I mean, you can make it the worst case scenario. You can have a bunch of if statements and stuff like that. Or we can kind of steal this code from down here, build up that array. So we use that array inside of our month to string. And then we return the months integer.parseInt month -1. So that'll get us, we pass in a 1, that'll return to January, so on and so forth. So this could be your helper function, whether you did it this way or whether you just had a whole bunch of if statements. If month is the string 1, return January. Else if month is the string 2, return February. You know, however you decide to implement this, this would be your helper function that takes the string representation of a number, representative of a month, and actually gives you the month. So that's one helper function you could have written. This kind of goes along with how I've been promoting solving this in small bits. Okay? The reality is, as I showed you here, you didn't need this helper function because it's already built in. You know, all this guy is doing is parsing this into an integer and reading it in. Why do you even have to filter that through a method? But in any case, we'll keep it in a method. Similarly, we could have said public static, say string date, or here, day to string, and this guy's going to take a string day as a parameter. I would probably deal with all the special cases first if I was going to do this. I mean, so I'm going to write this one less like we did down here. I'll write this more like maybe how some of you wrote it. So I might say if day dot equals 1 or day dot equals 21 or 31. Those are our STs. And just for good measure, day dot equals 0, 1, since we're doing string comparison. So if it's any of those guys, we will return day concatenated with st. Else if, I'll steal that stuff. We're looking at the 2nd, the 22nd, or the 02. Actually, we probably wouldn't want it to return 01 we wouldn't want this to return 01 ST, correct?
No, bro.
That seems kind of dumb. I could have already parsed the int above, but I didn't. So we'll take the int out and then return ST. If we're dealing with a 2, a 22, or an O2, if we're dealing with any of those, then I'll return the ND. If I'm dealing with a 3, a 23, or an O3, that's an RD, right? Else, return integer dot parseInt day concatenated with th. So that's our data string, which means we don't need that line. And let's just rewrite this line here. So we're going to say system.out.println driver.month to string. I'm going to pass it the month, which is the parts at bucket 0, concatenated with a space, concatenated with driver.day to string, the parts at bucket 1, concatenated with a comma, space, concatenated with the parts at bucket 2. So pretty similar solution, but using some more verbose methods. Go ahead.
My data string I use recursion. Because instead of saying all the special cases like that, I just said like day, if it's data length equals 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and else whatever day equals with th at the end, and then if it's a length of 2, I call the data string again, so pass it second character.
Okay, so if the length was 2, you just built the first character. You took the first character and you're concatenating it on to whatever is returned by the call of the second character. Okay, so then your second character deals with how did you handle special cases like 11, 12, and 13? Because your method would have taken in a 1, a 2, or a 3, and it wouldn't know if it was the second half of a 12 or the second half of a 22. Make sense? Okay. But I mean, not a horrible solution, an interesting solution, but you see the weakness. You know? All right. Anybody else do anything weird?
Can't talk about that on recording.
Are we going to have a higher instance of competent solutions? All right. So we have competent.
Mine was like,
I like Beaker. String array date equals I forgot.
What?
He didn't remember split, so he just called it I forgot.
I made it myself. Did you like the initial name?
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like how you're using the double equal sign to compare strings. Double equal signs are for primitive type comparisons.
I was testing. Like if You're big, you're brilliant.
You were testing me. It's like a useless thing now. I've taken all my tests. Now it's all downhill. We're going to put this in the middle pile because of the...
There are simple errors that
I liked how Tyler used split. He used it multiple times.
Yeah, I remember how split worked. Like everything would have been okay.
I like how you named it Tyler, then still Tyler.
Yeah.
Here, we'll put this with beakers. Partially competent. Simon, what's gonna be going down
Very
here?
long, drawn out, not finished.
Is it more competent than you've been doing?
Yes. It would have made sense if I was doing it. It's just been very long and inefficient. We're just gonna go by every single one.
So you get into the partial competent pile.
Yes.
All right, Paul. What am I gonna find here?
Just called Parsons wrong. You can see my attempt to put 4 alignment, I just ran out of time with that. One line short.
Oh, I see. All right, so I'll give you the competent pile. Well, Matt, you probably did this fine, right? I was just looking for a preheat. See, like Matt's padding his grade in the class. Some of the rest of your train wrecking it. Oh, yeah, that one's gross. Let's see, baked. That's your new nickname, Baker. Huh? Hey, they'll still stay. I'm friends with on Facebook. Baker's he's gonna read the eulogy at my funeral in the old Greek, right?
What?
We've already agreed upon this. Right.
That's probably true. I guess maybe I'll come then.
You got any more plans to come back and get more degrees? I got a lot of cumulus. In what?
Why don't you just go for a doctorate as opposed to more like?
Oh, no,
okay, yeah. Okay.
Just didn't have
Well, then it's okay. Agree.
Okay. Wow. Game glitch. Oh, wow.
I don't know, kind of lazy here, Carrie, with the little the double quotes, just saying, just repeat this.
Yeah, I was kind of considering
That's
doing
because I
that.
wanted to try to do it a second
It's
time
like
and
just
I ran
trying
out
to get it.
because I knew that was in
So I always place it up here. My hand hurts.
You understand.
I know I'm not doing it for what.
I just got to Dane's joke. Hip hip hooray! Wow.
I think that's with some action.
No.
It depends on how bad the.
I mean, another quote was terrible with the jokes.
I agree.
You believe me, you don't need an if statement now, Ali?
Yeah, I didn't know about the split thing.
You could use string tokenizer, I guess. But that would have been more than 4 lines.
Well, mine's
Didn't we use split in our,
Yeah.
yeah, we used split in our compiler. No, I think we used it inside of the language reference. Pretty sure.
Decompose last
all right there.
Yeah, here's split right here. We used it in decompose as well. Oh yeah, we did. Marks is okay. Fritz. Oh, Fritz graded his. It's,
You got stuff on the back too.
I've seen that. It's kind of the light's coming through a little bit.
That's right.
I will say, Skippy, you have improved a lot.
Yeah.
put you in the middle pile. So we're down to 1, 2, 4 people. 4 incompetents. That's a pretty big improvement in a week.
How many competence?
Purebred incompetent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 competence.
Do I get 2 semi-competence because I have 2 keys?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pretty competent.
Joy.
That's 10.
Just at
10 competent-ish and 4 incompetent. That's an improvement. All right, on Friday we'll talk about the final exam. You should prepare yourself for several problems like this on the final.
Can you come up with a quasi, those who would like to take an early time to take it early? Or is it kind of going to be like,
Oh, I would probably just do it on an individual basis.
okay. What does your schedule look like? Wednesday.
Let me stop this recording and I'll tell you.